tells us that it's asur to say the Shema or to say any prayer or the Torah in front of nakedness. We learn from there through pasuk that you cannot have nakedness in front of you while you're saying these things. So therefore, the Rambam writes in the Kriyat Shema in the 3rd chapter. He says a person cannot say Shema not in front of urine, not in front of feces, not in front of nakedness. So therefore, that means someone's privates. He cannot say the Shema in front of if it's exposed. So therefore, a person has to make sure that he doesn't give disgrace to the words of the Torah and the Shema by saying in front of these things. Also, even if a person's alone and a person himself is not dressed, to the point where all he has is a robe, all he has is a long shirt, and there's no separation between his top half and his bottom half, it is also asur, the Gemara says, to say the Shema, to say the Torah that way. A person has to have at least a separation, that his chest should not see his lower half, and that way there has to be a separation, like a belt. Many Hasidim, many of the Chabadnikim also, they have this gartel. They put this rope around them, and acts as a separation between the lower half and the upper half, in order to be able to say the Shema properly. Now, many of the poskim say that our pants and our undergarments are enough of a separation, but the Hasidim, they're mahmir, they have a formal rope that they put as a separation to be able to say the Shema and to pray. And that's what Maran writes in Siman Ayin Dalet. Maran Sechet Brachot also says that for a lady, the nakedness for a lady is also considered a problem for a person to say Shema and Divrei Torah and to pray. The Gemara says, the Shok Be'isha Ervah. For example, first of all, the Gemara says, Tefah Be'isha Ervah. The Gemara says that a size of a tefah, which is going to be exposed from a woman, this is also considered nakedness. Usually if they cover, the collarbone, they have to cover to the elbow, they have to cover to their knee. So all these places that usually are covered and they're exposed, the person cannot say Shema in front of them. He cannot pray in front of them. The Gemara says, Shok Be'isha Ervah, the calf of a woman, it's a mahloket, thigh or calf. We follow the opinion that calf is also considered nakedness of a woman. And a woman's supposed to wear kalgotki. A woman's supposed to wear not just a skirt below her knee, she's supposed to wear leggings uncover her calf as well, because the calf is also considered nakedness if there's nothing uncovering it. You're allowed to see the shape, but it has to have some covering on top of it. Even that is also considered nakedness for the Shema. The Gemara says the hair of a woman is considered, a woman's married and she's supposed to cover her hair, and her hair is not covered. It's also considered nakedness. A person cannot say Shema, pray, and say Divrei Torah in front of that. The Gemara says, Kol Be'isha Ervah, the voice of a woman is also Ervah, is also considered nakedness. A person cannot say Shema while listening to a woman sing, or say Divrei Torah while a woman singing. So therefore all these things are considered nakedness. And Shulchan Aruch in the Siman Ayin Hey says the person has to be meticulous, not to gaze at these things in general, but for sure it's also asur to say brachot, to pray while he's looking at these things. The question becomes, what are you supposed to do? The rabbis, a lot of times they do chuppah and kiddushin. And chuppah and the kiddushin, not always are the ladies dressed properly, and they're standing in front of them saying a bracha, saying Hashem's name. So what are they supposed to do? Yakut Yosef writes, the best thing to do is to always say from Sidur. Say the bracha from Sidur. That way, sometimes they think, why the rabbi needs the Sidur? He knows the brachot. So the rabbi wants the Sidur so he can put it in front of his face. So he doesn't have to, so he can block, so you're able to see the bracha without saying in front of nakedness. But that would be the best thing to do. Obviously, the best would be if all the ladies dress properly, obviously, tzanua, right? Then a person comes to the chuppah and dress properly. But in a case where there is not, he has to make sure that he alleviates this issue and not say bracha in front of nakedness. There's a beautiful story, the Gemara Secher Ketubot, Samech Zayin. It says about Mar Ukva. He used to always pass by the poor people in their houses, and he used to drop off 4 dinar to go and give them parnasah, to give them tzedakah. But he would drop it in the mail slot. He would open the mail slot for the door, put it in, and walk away. They wouldn't know who he is, and he wouldn't know who they are. So then, one day, there was a person who wanted to know who's giving him this money all the time. So he waited by the door around the time where he usually comes. And he said, once the money comes in, I'm going to open the door, I'm going to see who it is. So the money came in, and he tried to open the door. Mar Ukva quickly turned around, and he started running away. And he said, come here, who are you? He was chasing him in the street. They're running through the neighborhood. He finally goes into Mar Ukva, goes into somebody's house. He was with his wife. His wife was helping give tzedakah. Both him and his wife run into somebody's house. They got stuck in a dead end. They didn't know where to go. So they went inside the oven. So he was looking for them, and he said, where'd they go? I don't see them. He found out afterwards that he went inside the oven, and he said, why are you doing this? Why did you go in the oven? Well, I don't understand. Just let me see who you are. And he said, no, the sages say it's better to jump into an oven of fire, than to embarrass somebody else. We learned from Tamar, Yehuda, she left it in his hand to admit if he did it or not. But if he wouldn't admit it, she would have been fine to let herself burn at the stake. Why? Because the Gemara says more important, it's better that a person should burn in an oven than to go embarrass somebody else. That's how severe the sin is. So he said, Marokfa said, I don't want to embarrass you to know who's giving you tzedakah, so I'd rather go in the oven than to embarrass you. Should we also not to embarrass anyone? Baruch